What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, Mr. Lang. Back from Nashville slash Chattanooga slash Georgia. Had a great time, but it's back to it. So, quick poll. Who here offers at least exterior window cleaning? Hey, so quick, Mr. Curb Appeal Professional Service. I have a question for you. I'm kind of embarrassed, but listen, I driving back home. We drove through your state. I'll just say your state, and I said Arkansas. The person I was with said it's Arkansas, and then today, or I should say it, when I was driving back from Texas, I had this conversation, and then at the event, someone corrected me and said, it's not Arkansas, it's Arkansas. And I was like, that's what I thought. So which one is it? Is it like kind of like Illinois, like people always pronounce it wrong? What's up, Invasion HD? What's up, Rent Collector? What's up, DRL Products and Services? You guys always, nobody's name is on YouTube. It's always your business name. So I can't really call you by your name. Cincinnati Pressure Tech LLC here. Nice. Nice. So hey, quick poll. Who here offers at least exterior window cleaning? That's how I thought. Arkansas? Okay. Thought I was losing my mind. Oh, Sean. And Dave. Arkansas. Why they spell it Arkansas, you know? Because Kansas is spelled Kansas. They put a W at the end of there. So, for my exterior, it doesn't matter the poll, but for my exterior window cleaning wise, I recently just, and I won't talk about windows the whole time, just really quick. I just purchased a Gardner. I just purchased a Gardner 70-foot pole. It's a really, really nice pole, high modulus. Comes with extensions to make it 70 feet, and when the extensions are not in use, you can modify it to be a second pole. So it's like two water-fed poles in one. We have a huge courthouse job coming up this weekend. We're gonna do it this weekend, and you know, I don't know how long you guys have been in business or what proposals you put together, but I just want to throw this out there. If you ever come across the opportunity to do a courthouse or government style job, please shoot me an email and contact me. It's something I just rather talk about privately per case versus make a generic video for it. But there's a lot of stuff that goes into it and a lot of things that you might not even be aware of before you're putting together a proposal. And it's not like a typical commercial bid. So just keep that in mind. But it was funny, the beginning of this year, that was my 5-year goal to get a job to do work on this courthouse, and by the end of the season made it happen. So that's pretty cool. We need a really large water-fed pole for it though, so I made this purchase, and it's going to be one of our best jobs of the year. I'm 100% sure. But I was at the huge convention, and I messed around with a lot of poles. I have a couple poles. not many. I got an aluminum. It's not even aluminum. It's like a mix. And then I got a Tucker pole. But anyway, I played with a lot of different. I tested out a lot of the different water-fed poles, and telling you, Gardner was like unbelievable. So if you're thinking of getting into that, or you're wanting to get in the water-fed pole thing, Gardner had some amazing, high-quality stuff. I'm excited to do a real review on it. Hey, Opie. Everybody was calling me Opie in Nashville. Really quick, let me just go through the comments. I want to start a pressure washing, soft washing small business. What chem starters should I buy? I could tell you what, I mean, I used to recommend the Pressure Tech's little starter pack, but even, here, I'll show you, even I don't use a lot of this stuff. Well, I don't, Simple Cherry is still, it might have been opened at one point, but we didn't use it. We don't really use this. The only reason it's this low is because we were trying to figure it out, but we never really got that one figured out. And the pre-carb, I don't use that. So the only thing I ever used really out of it was the Oxbrite. But that's not saying you can't benefit from those things. It's just I personally don't use it. But I would just recommend oxalic acid. I have good luck with F9 bark. It's a rust remover, and I use Snotmonade from Russ Johnson at Southside Equipment for my surfactant. Get it in a 5-gallon pail. And then I've heard a lot of guys talk about muriatic acid. They use muriatic. I've just never messed with it. So, but you know, that's what I mean. Right now I'm recommending F9, but at one point I used to recommend the Pressure Tech starter pack. So maybe down the road I'll start recommending muriatic acid. We'll see. So yeah, rent collector. I know. I kind of stopped myself from walking into a joke. All right. For some reason I can't. All right. Anyway, so they wouldn't cover a government building, which is weird because I asked if I could do flat work in the post office in town, and she said, yeah, why not? Interesting. Okay. Mike Ennie, what's up, man? Bid slot? Yeah, if you really want it. I don't do Instagram. I never tried slow-mo. Okay, so moving on. So, oh yeah, anyone who watched the video where I was giving away the free system just to kind of help keep things clean. Hey Mom, thank you. It's good to be, well, I'm happy to be back and making some money. But I've realized I think I want to move to Georgia. Anyway, ADHD. Anyone who wanted to take advantage of that free system that I created, where it just kind of was to help clean house. I think that's the one I did. I could be wrong, but I think that's the one I did. Anyone who is interested or inquired about that, give me a second. I sent a lot of them out right before I left, but I got to get back on my email and start pumping them out again. So it's coming if you inquired about that. So I've decided I'm going to switch to a commission, and we've been doing it, and it's been really cool. So there's a couple different routes I've heard, and it's kind of like whatever, you got to pick what fits with your business. One route I heard was paying the lead tech 25% commission, and out of that, if he needs a helper, if he has a helper with him, the helper gets $15 an hour. That comes out of the lead tech's commission. And the only problem with that I thought of, I brought up when I was talking to the guy about this was, doesn't your helper get jealous, of all the money the tech's making, and yada yada. And he was like, not really, because it balances out, because it's like the lead tech gets screwed over if the helper isn't working fast and getting stuff done and isn't a good fit. Then they're there longer, and they don't make the money. And and he said also it motivates that lower guy to really try and really really be on his P's and Q's, and then he's a lead tech within a couple months. Like they said, like their guys are moving up the ranks very quickly, and they're growing quickly. So that's kind of a cool way to do it. And then I also heard another way where you're starting off as like a base pay of 9 or 10%, and you get an extra percentage for each tech, like 9 or 10% for each tech, and then you get like another percentage point for good feedback. You go the whole week without any complaints or having to go back. You get some Google reviews. You're showing up on time. You get an extra point for each one of these, and I think it would max out at like 12.5%. So then each guy is making, or together, if it was two techs together, it's 25%. But these percentage points are not magical numbers. It just works. It goes with whatever works for your industry, what kind of prices you're getting. It's all custom, but I just wanted to share that because for me, I might not even go either one of those routes, but at least gave me an idea of how they're structuring it, rather than just saying, I'm paying my guys commission. What does that even mean? So that might be helpful. All right, before I move on to the next point, let me check my... Make sure anyone in here recommends for a pole I could use to put a brush. Oh, check this out. These are the best poles I've found recently. But I actually have another one. I think it's in the car. It's not this brand, but it's the same concept. Oh, this is actually the one I don't like. I like the other one better. But the stickers are gone. I got this at Menards or Lowe's. But they're the nicer ones. And it twists. Hold on, let me see if I can get this phone to stay. See, this is what I don't like. Okay, here we go. See how it twists, and it's a solid pole, but this thing's super long and really bendy when it's fully extended, but it's better than these garbage ones here. These ones are garbage. I wouldn't go with these. There was a black one that I got, and it was a push button. That's the one I recommend. So instead of it twisting here, it's got a red button. You push, and it slides out in sections. And it's actually a little cheaper than this one, but it's the best pole we've had. The problem with these twist things is there's obviously some type of rubber gasket or whatever in it. So over time, especially with us using them as hard as we do, they get worn down, and the corrosive chemicals we use, they get worn down, and sometimes they either seize up or they don't hold when you spin it to lock it. They don't hold, and then the pole is essentially worthless unless you're using it at its collapsed weight. So go to Menards or Lowe's or whatever hardware store. First pressure washing estimate. Cincinnati Pressure Tech on Instagram. Okay. Thanks, your daddy 1117. Derek, just try not to spend a whole bunch of time over there freaking out and overanalyzing stuff. Just kind of try to look at the job. And I know it's hard because it's your first estimate. It's probably your first job. But for me, so recently I got put on to a way better system where I can measure roofs. I can even measure pitches. And I'm actually going to be a Responsibid user and just get everything really, really dialed in. And that's the direction I'm going, fully systemized. But it's not the end-all be-all answer either, because before this I made it work by not doing that and kind of just eyeballing stuff and guesstimating. And the only problem that sucks is I'm the only one who could really do it effectively. So, I just kind of would look at a house. I know a house that's 2,500 square feet, 2-story, might take a couple hours or so. Somewhere around $400. Or if you really want the job, maybe go a little lower. Regardless, it doesn't really matter what you price it at. You're going to get that experience. You're going to spray. You're going to find your do's and don'ts, and you're going to learn something along the way. Probably your first entire year of what to do, what not to do, how to be more effective and quicker, and you're going to get it all dialed in. So at least you're going to do it. And it'll all work out. But I would recommend having some type of estimate sheet or something. If don't write it on a piece of notebook paper. Like I said, I don't, but you'll know what I'm talking about when you see it. It's one of the more expensive poles, but not as expensive as this yellow one. I think it was a little bit cheaper. I rarely do a house wash under $400 these days. But I think I've also kind of earned it with the high ratings and stuff. The better the reputation we get, my prices go up a little more because people want to hire us. So, okay. Last but not least, I just want to show you guys this, and I might have already showed you this, and if I did, I apologize. You can hate me all you want, but let me see if I can turn this around. I know I showed you at least one of the two. Something like this is one of the most important things I did. Keeps things clean. Okay, so either screenshot that or you can email me. I'll probably send it to you if you say please. And these clock in time, it just helps double check, so maybe someone clocked in incorrectly, then we know what's going on. This is a checkout sheet for every single day, making sure all of our I's are dotted, T's are crossed. Maybe there's an O-ring that's started to leak, or one of the hoses is starting to split, or one of the swivels is leaking. Notes. Hey, we're running low on O-rings. We're running low on this. This could be set up way more effectively, and it probably will be eventually. Probably set up more of like on an Excel sheet, and we can maybe cram like a whole month in there or something. But for now, that works, and something like that is really huge, and I recommend it. Even if you have one employee, even if it's yourself, hold yourself accountable. You're gonna realize it's a huge problem. If it's just yourself and you're just starting, it's a big problem holding yourself accountable. If you know what I mean, it's tough. But appreciate it, Derek. I will try my hardest to keep it up. Appreciate it, Invasion HD. Like I said, my keep pumping out content. Benjamin Baker, thank you. Driving. Ha! That's badass. Cool, man. What's up, everybody? In Mr. Benjamin Baker's vehicle. Knocked that roof out in record time today. Ben will he'll buy you a beer or buy you lunch. He told me. I wasn't supposed to say anything though. I've been in 50. Wow, for house washing? Good for you. There's no reason why I can't be getting those prices then. So tomorrow, I'm jacking my prices up. $800 for a 2,000 square foot house. No, I'm just kidding. But that's really good. I've heard of that. Some markets, they're getting upwards of $1,000 for basic house washes. What's the best PSI to use with a surface machine? I don't really know. PSI, yada yada. I just talked to my supplier. I let them know my machine specs, and Russ Johnson at Southside Equipment. I tell them, hey, this is the machine I got. Those are my specs. Answer any questions that need to be answered. I let them know I don't know what I need. And I'm like, all right, you need these tips for that size surface cleaner, and it's gonna run like a dream, and they always do. And I even got certain tips that are a little bit bigger for if maybe we need to go a little bit lighter pressure. We never adjust the pressure on our power washer. We adjust the tips in our surface cleaner that it'll either allow more or less water to flow through those tips, and the more water, less pressure, less water, more pressure. But honestly, for your power washer, typically, from what I'm told, is your unloader, I know you can dial it and set it, but they're usually preset right from the factory to exactly where they're supposed to be. So you should never be messing with the PSI on your machine. Thanks, Rent Collector. You're not the only guy who's told me to branch into Instagram, and I've actually tried. But between YouTube, Facebook, my business, and everything else that goes in between, I do lack on the Instagram. But like I said, you're not the first guy to tell me that it's working out well. Jetstar Transportation, I appreciate it, man. I've been missing participating in YouTube. Iron oxide removal. Wow. See, that's what you got to say. Now I'm definitely not gonna lie. When you said to check out your Instagram, I was putting it in my mental to-do list, but it might have gotten missed. But now, I just want to see what a $390,000 patio looks like and the difference. So that's cool. If you really want people to check it out, I recommend saying exactly what you said there. I'm getting bombarded. How do you put antifreeze in the power washer if you don't have a water tank? Just trying to wrap up the equipment before it's winter. Oh, winter must be hitting you guys quick. Rob Anderson has a really, really cool video on that. I recommend just going over there. I can't remember exactly how he did it or how it's done, but it's something with like taking something off over here and pumping antifreeze just directly in the pump, and they use like a quarter of a gallon or something, if that. They hardly used any. I don't even remember if it was antifreeze, but yeah, that's a good idea. But just so you know, this machine right here has lasted us all year. Now, we haven't been using it nearly as hard as the 8 gallon a minute, but we've been using it, and I never blew, I don't even want to say this, I never blew the lines out, the water out of the lines, because I'm like, what? How do you even do that? You'd have to buy some special fitting, I'm sure. And long story short, I didn't do anything to prepare this for winter, and it sat outside in winter, Illinois, last winter, one of the roughest winters we had. I feel like we say that every winter, but last winter was pretty brutal. And things started up. Actually Joel, my buddy Joel, you guys might have seen him a couple times on the channel. I actually helped him with his build this year. He came across my channel and then he wanted to get into power washing, and he's like 45 minutes from me, so he came down when I was getting all my stuff put together for the year, for the beginning of the season. He came down and we hung out in the shop and got his truck put together. But anyway, we put all this together and started it up, and it started like the first or second pull, and it ran fine. Not saying you should just skip out, but if you do, don't have anxiety all winter like I did, because I was sure everything was going to be destroyed. I mean, we were power washing until we couldn't no more. I remember our last job, the water literally froze on the house, and I was all nervous about what was going to happen, but luckily it like warmed up the next day. Shout out from Memphis, mine. What's up, Digital 6 Marketing? Oh, okay. Yeah, Facebook is cool. So yeah, I like Facebook, you like Insta. Different strokes for different folks. Bought stainless steel surface cleaner at Lowe's. Hey! Is you need to take it out of the box at the store because the shipping department doesn't care and a lot are damaged. 11,000 cash in 4.5 hours. Good for you. Was it this one? I'll give you a second to answer, but I'm pretty sure it's this one. I got one at Lowe's. I love this little thing, man. It's not 16 inches, it's 15. So it's an inch less on the 4 gallon a minute. That thing works great. Yeah. You know what's crazy is they actually don't, correct me if I'm wrong, but they don't make many surface cleaners that are metal like this in this size. Because one of my buddies I haven't talked to in a long time, he owns a power wash company, he lives close by, that does just gas stations, right? And they use only 4 gallon a minute machines because water is such a problem. They have to bring water on site, or if they do have water, it's usually low flow. So they bring big tanks, little power washers, and they use the right chems, and they knock it out, and they conserve water. And I was like, wow, that's really cool to hear that like this big company is using only 4 gallon a minute power washers. So bigger's not always better. But they use 16-inch whisper wash, and they use hot water, and they burn through their surface cleaners. They're always buying surface cleaners because the hot water warps them eventually. And yeah, and I was like, why don't you get metal? He's like, they don't make them. They don't make them in the metal. And then I came across this, and I was like, huh. The only problem is this isn't like the whisper wash where it has its own, you know what I'm saying? Its own comfortable handle to push. Those you hook up on a wand, but whatever. It's got wheels and stuff, so I love that thing. Anyway. Thanks. My beard's actually a little out of whack right now, but I've been putting oil in it and brushing it and doing my thing. I've read that online. Friends were at Vehicles Louisiana said the moment they put stuff on Instagram, a bigger building, and had to hire people. Are you talking about Red Dead Redemption? Because I love that game. What mixture do I use for bleach? Mark, that's, just keep watching YouTube videos, man, because that's a question I actually literally can't even answer. I don't even know where I would start. There's so many, like what application, how are you applying it, yada yada. So that's cool that you're here though, and keep learning, keep educating. What's up, Matt D? What's everybody paying for SH? It's like $1.90 for me, but I buy in bulk. Oh wow, you're running with a 2.5 gallon a minute. Interesting. Caleb, the business owner. Can you explain what causes oxidation in gutters? It's something with the sun breaking down the paint and it's like run up something, because it's like such a uniform pattern. I just say it's something. I just say it's the paint failing is what I usually tell them. Like the sun is causing the paint to fail, just breaking it down. That's what I usually say, but I could be wrong. Goodbye. So you are not missing out. And 3 homes this week. That's awesome, dude. Especially towards the end of the year. Guys, thanks for tuning in. And shoot me an email, John Langwin. I am a little backed up on them. Yeah, I'm about $1.94 a gallon delivered too. I am backed out on them, but shoot me an email if just shoot me an email, johnlangwin@gmail.com. Thanks, everybody. Oh shit, Ben, you asked me a question, now I have to answer. The wash life mixer is leaking out of the water at SH metering valves on one of our roof pumps that has an idea. It was put together correctly with True Blue pipe sealant. Yeah, see, I don't mess with True Blue pipe sealant. Well, I don't know. I never had luck with it, but actually the one of ours is working just fine, because I think Sean Hodges used that stuff. But man, there is a chance that it might be just leaking. You know what I mean? Like there's a chance that something might have got bumped and the seal might have broke and now it's leaking. It's that easy. Like the seals can break. That's the only problem with those little mixers is it's a lot of moving parts. So it's not the end of the world. It's like you got to put it together, you know, the right way. When you tighten everything, don't ever like backtrack. Just everything's always being tightened and all aligned and stuff, and get it in a secure spot so it's not gonna be moving around or bumped into. Oh, it's like leaking there. I'm not sure, but man, for $30, they're $30 a pop. If it's the Pentar valves you're talking about, they're $30 a piece or something. So I just grab a few, and when you grab them, probably grab 6, so you have them. Oh yeah. What did you try screwing the little screw down? Maybe that got too loose. There's a screw right in the middle. Mike G, what's up? I have been running away from reality. I was in like Tennessee and Georgia and stuff for the past week on a business mastermind thing. It was really cool. And a vacation. It's called Business, Bourbon, and Bullshit. Not necessarily in that order either. Yeah, Mr. Benjamin Baker. Sounds like you might just need, I mean, that'd be my guess. I have, of course, I can't see it, but just from the sounds of it, it sounds like there's something broke, something's internally broke. And I've never experienced it myself, but where are you buying them from, if you don't mind me asking? I mean, all you do is unscrew it and screw it on. All the other parts are probably fine. I'd buy just the Pentar valves, like 6 of them, so you have them. Okay, boys, I'm out of here. I'm messing with my truck and I gotta use it, so I gotta get back to it. Okay, cool. All right, guys. I love the orange safety guns. That's like all we use now. And I just get whatever lance. The insulated lances are nice with the little thing, just because they're a little more sturdy. See you, everybody.